Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Peter Jennings, and I go by CSURAM88 across the daily fantasy industry. And back again here at FantasyLabs doing another model preview. I'm doing the quarterback position again because I was planning on doing the running back position, but there's just a lot of news, injuries, pickups at that position. So I'll have some more takes on it on Periscope that I'll be doing from the FantasyLabs account. And certainly more content will come out about the running backs, and the models will be updated as we get more news. But the quarterback position has a little more clarity at this point, and I think I've made a really interesting model that puts in a lot of factors I think are important, and I like a lot of the guys at the top of the list. So let's take a look here at the model. I have Vegas score at 14 points, which I think is always a good thing to have in your model. The NFL lines are very efficient, and I think it's really important to basically utilize the Vegas score because these team totals are pretty accurate. And obviously, the more scoring, the better for the quarterback and pretty much every position on offense. The opponent rating is another thing that I'm always trying to bake into models. Taking a look at the matchup, it incorporates plus minus, which I also have here, of how basically the teams do against the position. And it's something that is predictive. So I like having that in the model. In addition, projected points per dollar is about a third of my model. Feel great about the projections that we're doing. The team here is doing a great job. Adam Levitan is leading the charge. He's also projecting ownership, which you can see over here in this column. You can see the highest owned guys and whatnot. So I love looking at ownership. As you can see here, ownership is really spread out amongst quarterbacks because people are making different stacks. So it's not a position in tournaments you really have to worry about ownership as much in. All right, so we have the quarterbacks rated by the highest rating again here. Projected plus minus is a proprietary stat. If you've watched any of these previews, I think it's absolutely critical. Something I'm really proud of here at Fantasy Labs. I definitely think it's predictive. And then I made this more of a tournament model for you guys with projected ceiling at 7 and upside baked in at 6 points. So 100 points used. It back tests over 4 points above expectation. And I think that the guys at the top of the list are certainly fantastic plays. And that starts with Ryan Tannehill. Number one rated quarterback by a good margin. 5 points ahead of Andrew Luck. I really like him in this spot. His stats are a little skewed in that, and so is the Miami, pass game. Both receivers, Parker and Landry, got more opportunity last week, as you can see here, because of the game flow. Against the Patriots, they're getting killed, and then Garoppolo gets hurt, and they make a comeback, and it was because Tannehill threw it 45 times. Also rushed 6 times, which I think has a ton of upside. He was a receiver in college, so I do like Tannehill quite a bit this week. Andrew Luck is the next guy. If you've seen any of my content or follow me on Twitter or anything like that, you know I'm obsessed with Andrew Luck. Only week I'll fade him all year was last week against Denver, and boy, did it work out. Denver defense came through, which was awesome. And he's going to have a great game most weeks unless he's playing against the best defense in football on the road. Against the Chargers, I love the spot at home here. Moncrief is out, which lowers my expectation for him just a little bit, but I still think he's one of the top options, if not the top option on the week. If you wanted to argue someone's better than Andrew Luck, a good place to start might be Aaron Rodgers. I like him quite a bit. They have a high team total. The only concerning thing here that you can see in this game log is he hasn't thrown for over 300 yards since November 15th against the Lions in the same spot. So hasn't had the success recently, but the last time he had the success was against this Lions team. I think there's some upside here with Aaron Rodgers. Certainly would love to see it. I hope a healthy Jordy Nelson can really get him going. All right, so some other quarterbacks here at the top of the list. Definitely don't mind Joe Flacco, Dak Prescott, Matt Ryan. I think all those guys are viable options. You can see Matt Ryan is included in this. And one other thing I wanted to point out just real quick, I do have this set to include the Monday and Thursday games, which not every slate includes now. So make sure you're paying attention to that. It's certainly something that you want to obviously sort by the filter there. Scrolling through the rest of the guys here, Ben Roethlisberger, I'm actually not too high on because I respect that Philly defense a lot, although it is a good bounce back spot for Ben and Antonio Brown for tournaments. I'm pretty high on Kirk Cousins, even on the road, where he has worse splits, but I think this could be a really big bounce back spot. I'm really high on Jordan Reed, so I like that combo as a stack. Scrolling a little bit farther down, I think Mariota and Carr, that game could have some scoring. I also really like Phillip Rivers in Indy. I still think it's a great spot. Amazed at how well he's played. The offensive line is playing better. And even without his best receiver and without one of the best pass-catching running backs in Woodhead, I still think Rivers can have a great game here. The stacks will certainly be very popular. One other guy that has been touted a little bit, and Adam Levitan here at FantasyLabs really likes Blake Bortles to Allen Robinson. I think this is a phenomenal spot to take advantage of a duo that had a ton of success last year that hasn't had the greatest start, especially Allen Robinson, and the matchup against Baltimore certainly is a good one. Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, both possess upside. Cam Newton, not the best matchup per se, but he still has as much upside in the league. I did play Cam in all my cash games last week, which worked out really well. Part of the reason I played him in all my cash games is because they were facing San Francisco, who plays a fast tempo, and I think their defense can give up points, and we saw that with Russell Wilson. So, or we saw that with Cam Newton, so why not Russell Wilson? I like him quite a bit in this spot. The only concern is the injury, and that's something you'll want to monitor is the ankle sprain. He did play last week. I think there was some concern with it, but yeah, pay attention to what Wilson's status is, and we'll see how much better he gets. It's Wednesday. I need to watch that game again myself to see how well he was moving before I make a final decision, but certainly the spot is great for Russell Wilson. Drew Brees has the highest upside of any quarterback probably in the whole league when he's at home. I do think the running quarterbacks technically might have some more upside with the rushing TD equity, but Drew Brees can throw 5 touchdowns at any time at home, and this certainly is a spot that we could see that. The last couple guys down here, I mean, I don't really like anyone that much that's lower rated. I respect Green Bay's defense. All these guys are kind of marginal to me. Definitely not on my boy Semien. But I think a couple other guys who warrant some tournament exposure. Carson Palmer, he won't be owned. We have him at 2 to 4% because a lot of people will be on Luck or Rodgers or even chasing Cam Newton points. And then Alex Smith could be a really sneaky call against a funnel defense. And at 2 to 4%, I like him with Macklin. And finally, one other stack that I really like this week is Jameis Winston to Mike Evans, which I think is a really good spot. Bad game for Jameis against Arizona. If we look at his game log, like 2 totally different games. At Atlanta, he had a really nice game, throwing 4 touchdowns, was efficient, only had 1 interception. Against the Cardinals, throws 4 picks against opportunistic defense. So his price is down, and I think it's a little bit better matchup. Even though I do respect the Rams' front 7, their secondary can definitely be picked on, and Winston certainly has upside. So with that, I hope this is really helpful for you guys, and good luck in all your contests. Of course, we're looking to see more FantasyLabs subscribers at the top of the leaderboard.